Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai dai yai dai dai. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Yay, die, die, yay, die, die, die. Yay, die, 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 die. Yay, die, die, yay, die, 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 die. Yay, die, die, yay, die, 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 die. Yay, die, die, yay, die, die. Yay, die, 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 yay, die, 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 die. Boker Tov, good morning. As we continue our journey through the month of Nisan, our journey toward Pesach, now just a week away, our journey to Zman Cherutenu, the season of our liberation. We begin our day with these morning meditations and continue today with our meditating, our prayer, our concentration on Birchot HaShachar, the series of short blessings that carry us into the day. Over the last couple of days, we've done the blessings for awareness that it is morning, for opening the eyes of the blind, freeing the captive, lifting the fallen, and finding the earth firm beneath our feet. Strengthening our steps, clothing the naked, and giving strength to the weary. We will continue this morning with the next three blessings, which are on page 40 of Mishkan Tefillah, the physical Siddur. It's also available in the online free flipbook Siddur. The first of these blessings praises the Eternal One, Shasani B'Tselem Elohim, the Holy One who has made me in the image of God. Pirkei Avot says, it is precious that we are created in the image of God. It is even more precious that we know we are created in the image of God. More on that in a moment. First, a Talmudic story or analogy. The rabbis say that when a king wants to imprint thousands or millions of coins with his image, he can stamp out a bunch of coins, and every coin looks the same. The image of the king on every coin looks the same. This is still true. Look at Abraham Lincoln, is exactly the same on pretty much every penny. But God is not like Abraham Lincoln or a human king. When God seeks to put the divine image into the world, God makes people in the image of the divine. And yet, look at us. We're all so different. We look so different. We sound different and think different and feel differently. We're all different in so many ways. So what does it mean to you then to be created in the image of God? It's clearly not to look like God. We don't believe God has a body, so it's not a matter of physical appearance. And as the Midrash notes, we all look different from one another. But what is it about us that suggests we are created in the image of the Holy One? What of that metaphor speaks to you? How would you treat yourself? How do you treat yourself when you recognize, when you see yourself as created in the divine image. And at least as importantly, we should go on to note that when we recognize that we are created in the divine image, when we give thanks to God for creating me in the divine image, we recognize that everyone else is saying this blessing too, because every other person is also created in the divine image. This is hard sometimes. It's sometimes hard to see people that we don't like so much, people whose behavior can be abhorrent. How can we see them as created in the divine image? How can we see the people with whom we stridently disagree as created in God's image? What might the world look like if everyone treated everyone as a creature made in the image of God? And how might you animate the divine? What would it look like for you to animate the divine in your body, in your soul, to emphasize, to feel, and to remember that you are created in the divine image as you go about your day, interacting with others and assuming the same of them? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani b'tselem Elohim. Praised are you, eternal our God, who has made me in the divine image. Our second blessing for this morning. Praised are you, eternal one, Sha'asani ben Chorin for a male, Bat Chorin for a female. If you don't identify on that binary scale, choose your term. Bechorin. Praise to you, eternal one, who has made me to be free. I know this is a time when it's sometimes hard to feel our freedom. We feel confined in this coronavirus world. And yet even now, most of us enjoy so much freedom. Even when we are supposed to stay at home, and should be staying at home. So ask yourself, what do you use your freedom to do in the world? How do you translate your freedom, which is a gift to you, into a gift to others as well? How do you do that under normal circumstances? And how do you use your freedom, l'taken, to bring healing in this strange world that we're living in today? What are the narrow places, the Mitzrayim, the metaphorical Egypts of the spirit that constrict your freedom? What holds you back from being the best person that you can be? And how might you leave those narrow places as we approach Pesach and the season of liberation from them? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani ben Chorin. Praised are you, eternal one, sovereign of the universe, who has made me to be free. Our third and final blessing this morning. Praise to you, eternal one, Sha'asani Yisrael, who has made me a Jew. To be a Jew is to have the opportunity to wake up and say these blessings, to wake up with gratitude, and to commit to that gratitude with which we begin the day throughout the hours that follow. So as you thank the Holy One for making you a Jew, Consider, what does being Jewish mean to you? What does our sacred heritage move you to do in the world? And how does it give you solace in time of crisis? Who is it that God has made us in making us Jewish? The word for Jew here, Yisrael, can be read in several ways. Most famously, Yisrael is one who wrestles with God. This is the calling, the name we inherit from our forefather Jacob, who earns it after wrestling with a divine being all night on the banks of the Yabok River. Do you wrestle with God? Do you wrestle with the divine? Do you wrestle with holiness? Do you wrestle with your humanity? Note that a wrestling hold is very much sometimes like an embrace. Not so far at all. What do you embrace? What is the embracing in your wrestling? One other alternative. Rav Avraham Yitzchak Kook reads the word Yisrael as Shir El, as the song of God. We are singers. We are to sing the holy into the world. So what does it mean to be God's song in a frequently disharmonious, cacophonous world? And think about song and the power of music in your life. How does it lift you? What music, metaphorical or real, inspires you to live up to the better angels of your nature? Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani Yisrael. Praise for you, Eternal One, Sovereign of the universe, who has made me a Jew. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Let's go into the day with a short poem by Rumi. He writes, "Today, like every other day, we wake up empty and frightened. Don't open the door to the study and begin reading. Take down the dulcimer. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground."